Hi loves, it's Catherine here from Selfunity. Welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. Today we are going to be receiving messages of guidance from Goddess Gaia herself. So if you want to stick around and listen to the intro, I'll talk a little bit about Goddess Gaia and how this idea for this reading came to me. All right, loves, but if you want to skip ahead and go right to your reading, you already know which card, which crystal is calling to you. I do have timestamps listed in the description box down below, and you can click on it and it will take you directly to the beginning of your reading. All right, loves, but before we get into sharing the choices for today and getting into the individual readings, I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about how this idea for Goddess Gaia came to me, okay? Because this is something, it's a little different, it's a little unique than what I'm used to channeling and reading messages for. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about a personal practice of mine. So lately I have gotten into this new hobby of bike riding. I was gifted a bike around the holiday season, and I've really been enjoying going on long, short, quick bike rides in the morning or early afternoons. And the last 2 days here in Vegas, the weather has shifted into really nice temperatures. It's been in the 70s, the 80s. We're going to be reaching into the 90s soon. So it's getting warmer. And we had a very long winter, which is a little bit unusual. So I was inviting in these warmer temperatures with like open arms. I was like, yes, thank you so much. So this morning when I woke up, I immediately wanted to, get on my bike and go outside and enjoy the beautiful sunlight and the warm weather that we're getting now. And while I was out riding, I noticed that there wasn't actually too many people out and about. Usually there's, quite a lot of people on the bike paths that I ride. And today there wasn't that many. And with the sun shining down, that warm feeling of just of greatness and sunshine, it was so beautiful. It was a really beautiful energy that I felt guided to sing out loud my heart's desires, anything that I was healing and working on. And so after I did this and I was actually heading back home, I started to think, what should I do for my next YouTube video, my next pick a card reading? And just like that, and like the snap of your fingers, the thought came through, we should connect with Goddess Gaia, Mother Gaia, and bring forth some messages of guidance for the earth, okay? And I feel like this is going to be deep readings here because Mama Gaia has definitely been going through it. And I think that these messages are so important right now to share because one thing that she keeps telling me to share with you all is that we tend, as humans, we tend to lose sight of the truth that we are also part of Mother Gaia. We are also a being of nature. We are connected to nature. And how we treat and show up for Gaia herself is how it's like a direct reflection of how we show up for ourselves. Okay. And so there's this shifting of energy that's going to be taking place over the next few years where we are getting deeper connected with Goddess Gaia once again, with the earth once again, because I feel like for so long, so many of us have been disconnected from really understanding the pain and the suffering that Goddess Gaia goes through herself. And it's a direct reflection of that pain and suffering that we feel as individuals living upon the earth. Okay. Now, I do want to preface these readings by saying that I am open to whatever messages want to come through from Goddess Gaia today. Okay. These are not just going to be messages, telling you to be more earth friendly. These are going to be a variety of messages. I'm open to whatever comes through, whatever Mother Earth wants to talk about. They may be geared towards, practicing eco-friendly, earth-friendly things, or, shifting towards being environmentally aware, things like that. But I think it's going to be much deeper than that as well. We may get some messages about life purpose, career, and finances, because that is all like earth-based energy there. We may also get some messages from ancestors, okay, because they were very much once connected to this land and to this earthly realm. And so some ancestors may want to come through, and they may also share some messages of wisdom that we need to hear at this time. Okay, so it's not just going to be like an earth-based reading. It's whatever messages would have come through, whatever you need to hear today, but they will be directly channeled from Goddess Gaia, okay? Okay, love, so let's go ahead and see what our choices are today. So for pile 1, we have the golden citrine quartz crystal. All right, and let's see what your card is too. So we have 15 growth. 15 growth with the citrine quartz. And for pile 2, we have the clear quartz. Okay, let's see what your card is. We have 47 grateful. 47 grateful. And then for pile 3, we have the Snowflake Obsidian. Snowflake Obsidian. And pile 3's card is 50 boundaries. 50 boundaries with the Snowflake Obsidian. All right, loves, so go ahead and select the crystal or card that is most calling you in, and then you can click on the timestamps in the description box down below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, pile 1, welcome into your reading. So if you selected the beautiful citrine quartz or 15 growth, then this is your reading. Welcome in. All right, love, so I'm going to put this card here in the middle, and then we're going to set the crystal over here. Oh, you know what? I actually forgot to mention in the beginning of the reading when I was showing each of the crystals, but today's crystal selections were actually just taken out of my garden. So each of these crystals have been planted in Mama Gaia's soil, Goddess Gaia soil, for almost, I don't know how long, probably a little bit more than a year. And I just took them out today. And so now I'm using them for this reading to further amplify the energy of Goddess Gaia. Of course, all crystals and stones, come from the earth herself, but these crystals just came right out of the soil and into this reading space today. Okay, so I just wanted to share that little tidbit just to let you know it's further amplifying the energy and connection to the Goddess Gaia today. But let's go ahead and get into your messages. All right, loves. So you have 15 growth, and this first card sets the tone for your reading. And I want to draw attention to all the colors here. So we actually have the moon is drawn in with like these oranges and yellows, and it actually looks a lot like the citrine crystal here. Very similar shades of colors, and the color yellow orange generally represents the solar plexus chakra. Okay, so some of you may be working on healing your solar plexus region right now, and this is located in your stomach region. Okay, maybe some of you are actually having like stomach, maybe like you had stomach problems in the past, and now you're working on healing those symptoms, those feelings in your stomach. Okay, some of you may also experience like stomach pains when you're going through something that's emotionally or mentally challenging. All right, loves. Let's see if anything else comes up with the growth card, though. This is definitely representing that there is some type of transformation, some type of change that you're going through. And this feels very physical based. Okay, a lot of the times when we create tarot readings, we talk about the mental, emotional changes that somebody's going through, but this feels like something in your external world is going through some type of change, some type of transformation. I'm also getting this really interesting message that somebody could be going through like a physical growth spurt, like the growth spurts we go through as children. So maybe you have children and they're experiencing growth spurts at this time, and it could be affecting you. I'm also getting this interesting message. This is very rare. I mean, I don't know how rare it is or how common it is, but I know that it's rare to go through late stage growth spurts, like when you're in your late teens, so like around 18, 19, and in your early 20s up until you're like 22, 23, you can go through a physical body growth spurt. And so somebody could be, maybe like even around the age of 15 is going through some type of growth spurt later in life. And it can be, physically exhausting. But let's go ahead and draw some tarot cards so we can get some more insight on the messages that want to come through in relation to this growth or change that you're going through. So for your reading today, we're going to use the Wildwood Tarot. And I do have some more tarot decks beside me as well that I may be pulling more cards from. And if I do, I'll let you know the names of those decks as well. But let's see, what does pile one need to know from Goddess Gaia? Alright, let's see, let's get a couple more cards. We'll take this one. Okay, we'll take that one too. Alright, so let's see what we have for you, pile one. Okay, so first we have Queen of Stones, Bear. Look at that, there's more oranges and yellows right there. We'll put that close to growth. And then we have Two of Stones, Challenge. Oh, I said change. I was like, I said challenge, but I said change. It sounds very similar. So this change may be challenging. And then let's see what these two are. We have Five of Vessels, Ecstasy. And we have Two of Arrows, Injustice. So you have the number 2 twice, and also the Queen there. All right, so let's see what's going on with these tarot before we pull some more cards here. Okay, with these cards here, there's definitely some kind of choice or decision that you have to make. And it's a challenging decision, okay, because one, you have the Two of Arrows, Injustice, and there's like a blindfold over her eyes here. Her arms are crossed. It's a torn decision. She's not sure, if she wants the feather or the stones there. She doesn't know which one she's going to go with. She even has her foot on the bow, where it's almost like this unwillingness to make the decision, okay, to make the choice to move forward with something. But over here, we also have the Two of Stones, Challenge, which is showing like this energy of two people arguing. They're in some kind of debacle. And so what I'm really picking up on here, it's like this energy where you're ready for change, you're ready for growth, you're ready to come out of that cave and to see the horizon, to see the world, to see what's possible, to fulfill yourself with that energy of ecstasy, and love and protection. But there are these hidden factors that are preventing you from making this decision. Although I would also say, like, not all of them are hidden from you. Okay, one, you could be arguing with somebody else about the changes that you're trying to make, and maybe they're not agreeing with it. So this could be the dynamic of, somebody being in a relationship. I'm specifically seeing, somebody maybe being with a spouse or like a what's the word? Domestic partnership. And it's like one of you is trying to, you're trying to make changes for yourself, for your growth, for your happiness, for your protection, maybe even like for this long-term outlook on life, but they may not necessarily agree with it or see the same vision or perspective that you're having on this situation, the changes that you're wanting to implement. I'm also picking up on their energy a little bit here, where they're mostly just worried about how things are going to turn out. So it's like the fear of the unknown. They're just kind of having these fears of the unknown. And there's also fear around knowing that, if you pursue this element of change, things are going to be different, which, even though it's a given, change can be very scary to anybody, especially in the situation though where this change is being initiated by somebody else. Okay, so it's like you're trying to initiate this change. They have not received any intuitive thoughts or guidance about this change. It was gifted to you. And so when you initiate this change to them, it can be very overwhelming, very concerning, and it can essentially, send them into that reactive energy of kind of freaking out, not knowing how things are going to turn out. Okay, so Spirit's kind of saying just give them time, give them time, give yourself time. But I do see that this change is going to, it's going to help you grow exponentially, and it's also going to bring you the happiness, the fulfillment, the energy of safety and protection that you're seeking. Okay, so for some of you, this could be where you're wanting to start a new business. Maybe you're wanting to move somewhere new. And it's like you're looking at things from a long-term perspective. You're looking towards the future and trying to lay this strong, solid foundation for your future, but also for the future of anyone else that's connected. So maybe like a family unit, your children, your spouse, your partner. You're trying to create this long-term solution to your sense of security, to your joy, to your happiness, and to your peace. Okay, so let's see if we can get some guidance on the decision, making the decision, because we have that come up that, you're not making this decision. You're not wanting to look at the decision that needs to be made. All right, let's give it one more shuffle. Let's see, what do we need to know about this decision? All right, let's get a couple more. I feel like for some of you, you've already made the decision internally, but you're not taking physical action on it. And Spirit's saying that, no matter what people are saying outside of you, and no matter what you yourself are saying about this change externally, Spirit and the universe, Gaia, Mother Earth, they feel what you're feeling internally. Okay, your spirit guides, the universe, it already knows that you've internally made this decision. And if you don't take action on it, the universe will take that action for you. Okay, so let's see if we can get some guidance on this though. We have Page of Swords, because I feel this energy coming in of like not wanting to ruffle any feathers because somebody's not in agreement with this, or maybe they're placing their own judgments on it. And you feel as though there's that energy of injustice there, that you're not getting that validation that you want to get from this person that you really care about, what they think of you making these changes or exploring this new path. Okay, but let's see what these cards are here, what they're saying. So we have King of Wands, and we have Six of Wands. You have so much wand energy here in relation to the Two of Arrows, which also represents the wands. Okay, so yeah, it's like Spirit's telling you to just go for it. It's like, I almost want to say like, don't ruffle any feathers, but that's like my own, bias coming in. And with the cards coming out here, Spirit's saying like, go for it. And it could even be like your bias that I'm picking up on, where, maybe you've been taught to play it safe, play it small, stick with the status quo, don't ruffle any feathers. If they say don't do it, you better not do it. Okay. So this energy almost feels to me like the energy of the nuclear family from like the 1950s, the husband-wife scenario where the husband tells the wife what to do. And in this scenario, it's like you may be embodying that energy. And now, this is 2023. It's a different time. Wives, women can do whatever they want. They don't have to ask for permission. And this is interesting because this is, messages from Gaia. as a woman, things have changed, okay? And not just as a woman, because, you know, men could be watching this too, you know, and you may be in a similar energy where of like waiting for somebody to give you permission to do what it is that you want to do. But for the sake of this reading and the explanation that Spirit's providing, I'm just going to use the word women, okay? But you don't have to resonate with that as your own identity. I'm just going to use it as an example because that's what's coming up. As women in 2023, we are still working on healing the energies that our ancestors had to live through, the experiences, the situations, the mindsets, the emotions that they had to embody and live through in, you know, the 1950s, that whole dynamic. And in some places, this type of energy still exists. It's like still very deeply rooted in, you know, like either like small town cultures or, you know, other countries around the world, different cultures. It's still very much embodied, but it's all starting to come to light now that, you know, this is not okay. And we are just as much human as, you know, the counterparts, as the men. And so there's like a deep healing that you're working through in having this experience right now. And it's not just with yourself, but it's also for your ancestors that had to live through those times, those struggles of not being able to do what it is that they wanted to do and having to wait to get that permission from their partner, from their loved one, from their parents, you know, whatever it may be. And so I feel as though this experience that you're having right now, it's almost like it's a test from the universe and a test from your ancestors. So, you know, like I was saying, okay, yeah, you don't want to ruffle any feathers, but what is the worst that could happen if you choose to pick yourself up, make that decision and pursue this dream of yours, or, you know, pursue this vision of yours of creating more solid stability and foundation and security for yourself, for your children, for your partner that's telling you no, you know, you've been gifted this vision for a reason. And if you have the means and the capability to make it happen, why are you letting one person tell you not to do it? Even if that person is somebody that you deeply care and love about. Okay, this goes much deeper than that, though. This is something that is like innately rooted in yourself that you're working on healing through having this experience. Okay. And, you know, I keep wanting to like get more guidance for you on this other person's reactions and thoughts, and oh my gosh, I can't tell these people, you know, to just say screw them and do this. But really, that is what Spirit's saying here, and they're not saying it out of haste or spite. They're saying it out of this energy of growth. There's something that you are working on growing within yourself and becoming comfortable with, and understanding that you don't have to wait for permission and you don't have to ask for permission. You are your own person, just as you are your own individual soul. You don't have to get permission from anyone. And with that, Spirit's also telling me to tell you to reflect on a time in your life where you didn't ask for permission. How did that situation play out? And they're saying, you know, there could be a time where you're thinking about where you didn't ask for permission and it's like you got in trouble. Okay, it's good to think about those times because it will show you the dynamic of where somebody could have implemented their own control over you and created this energy, this kind of illusion of thinking that you have to ask for permission for things. But there is a time, maybe more than one, in your life where you asked for permission, where you didn't ask for permission, and it went fine. Nothing went wrong. You didn't get into trouble. Everything worked out fine. It worked out better than you could have even imagined. You know, think of that time. Okay, because there's some kind of magical revelation that may come to you, that may meet you in your third eye, in your memory body, that will help you to take the action steps of the decision that you've already made internally. Like I know the Two of Arrows came out saying, there's some kind of decision you have to make that you haven't made yet. You've already made this decision internally. You just haven't taken those steps externally yet. But Spirit's saying it's now time to take those steps. And I don't know if I mentioned yet, but with the Page of Swords, King of Wands, and Six of Wands here, this is showing that this venture, this change that you're wanting to pursue will be so successful. Like you will be the King of Wands, like you'll be the Six of Wands. The people are going to praise you. They're going to love you for what it is that you're creating and accomplishing. They're pursuing this new thing that you're wanting to pursue. And even your partner or the person that you're arguing with about this, maybe your parent or a loved one, maybe a close sibling, they will also come to see the light of this situation. They may come in with like apologies or just this energy of like forgiveness and finally being able to see what it is that you saw in the beginning. It's just they're not able to see it yet because it's not created in physical reality yet. It's only existing as a thought, an idea in your mind's eye, and you have to show them by taking those action steps that this will work out for the good of all. And even better than you imagined. Okay, so get to work on it. Start taking those steps. And you don't have to hide it. Like I feel like some of you may feel like you have to hide it. You don't have to hide it, because in hiding it, again, that's playing into the illusion that you have to ask for permission, and you don't. All right, let's get some oracle cards. This reading got a little long, but that's all right. These messages are important. All right, let's see what we have from this deck here. This is Nature's Whispers, and this card from the beginning came from Whispers of Healing. So what do we need to know from Nature's Whispers? All right, we'll take 3 oracle cards. Okay, so wow, we have 37. Ideal course of action. It's time to take action. Time to take action. You've already laid out the plan for this. You've already mapped it all out. Even if it's just in your head, you've already mapped it out and you know what you need to do to get this done. We also have 47 laughter. This is something that you're going to laugh about later in life with the person that you're waiting to approve of this idea. And we also have 27, maintain your childlike spirit. Yes. Yeah. Whoever is watching this reading definitely probably have children. This is definitely like very much family oriented, where you're trying to make some type of plan, not just for yourself, but for your family unit. And even if you don't have children, it could be where you are the child and you're trying to make changes for your elders, for your parents, your grandparents, trying to set them up for life and create a solid foundation of security for them. Okay, maybe they're the ones that aren't seeing eye to eye on what it is that you're doing, and it's okay, even though they can't see the vision yet, you can. And only you can see this vision, because you are the only one that can create it, that can make it happen. So follow the course of action now. You've already made the intuitive internal decision that this is something you deeply desire to pursue and to create. Why aren't you creating it? Just because somebody said no? When has that ever stopped you? Don't let it stop you now. Wow, I did not notice this, but we have 27, 37, and 47. So this is, again, it's showing like generational healing. You, through this experience, as painful as it is, as challenging as it is on a mental, emotional level, to do something that you want to do just because you want to do it without getting that permission or approval from somebody is deeply, deeply healing ancestral wounds. Okay, it's like the people before you taught you that you have to ask for permission to do something, whether it be they flat out told you you can't do something unless you ask for permission, or they just taught it to you through experience, through conditioning, of like watching them, observing how they react and act around different people and one another. you have taken that energy on. But it's like this energy where you were chosen to be born during this time and to experience this moment of indecisiveness on taking those action steps because there's some type of conflict with somebody close to you that's not in agreement or not in approval of what it is that you're trying to do. You chose to have this experience so you could break that generational curse, so you could break that generational bond of teaching, your what is the word, descendants, that they do not have to live like this. And also healing those wounds of your ancestors of all the times that, they asked for permission and they were told no, or they were shut down. And so they just didn't do it. And they lived an unfulfilled life, not getting to pursue what it is that they wanted to pursue, not being able to create that foundational security that you are seeking to create for your family unit, for your ancestors, your elders that are still alive, and for your descendants, your ancestors of the future. All right, let's talk a little bit about the animal symbolism. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm just going to kind of point it out here. But we have some iguanas here, maybe like chameleon energy. Oh, I thought this was an iguana. There's an iguana here on this card. We have flamingos, polar bear. We also have horses. And I also wanted to say unicorns. They don't have the horn, but I was thinking of unicorns because the connection with children. And then we also have the bear, and we have the 2 rabbits or hares there. So any of these animals could be significant to you in some way. You may be seeing these animals. We also have a lion here. These cards, there's like so much into them. You just look like you can look at it and get mesmerized and just keep finding things in it. We have the lion, iguana, polar bear, and flamingo. So you may be seeing these animals around. Maybe these animals could be significant to you and the person that you're in a debacle with about this situation, or these animal symbolisms could be significant to you and a past loved one or ancestor. Maybe they really enjoyed these animals or gifting little trinkets of these animals to you, or maybe you have a significant memory when you were with this person and you saw one of these animals out in the wild. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull your last card. Let's see, what deck do I want to use for this? We're going to use the fairies here. So we're going to use the fairy. This is called Healing with the Fairies Oracle. Of course, I have to use a fairy deck when we are connecting with Gaia energy, that earth-based energy. Fairies love the earth. So let's see what the fairies have to say. Here we go. We have family harmony. Look at that. Spirit wants you to know that you have nothing to worry about. They will come around in their own time. Don't think you're stepping on anyone's toes or going behind anyone's back. You are doing this for the sake of your family, for the sake of yourself. So you've already made those decisions internally. Now it's time to make those decisions externally and follow your heart. Follow those visions and the guidance that you're receiving, because you will create the family harmony that you are most seeking and seeking out to create for your family unit now and for future generations, and healing the past generations as well, which your past ancestors are definitely with you throughout this experience. All right, loves, that's it for your reading today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what you enjoyed most. Let me know that you picked pile 1. Let me know if anything specific really resonated with you or stood out to you. I love to hear from you all in the comments and see what you resonated with most. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my next reading. And lastly, I do offer personal readings. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so through sending me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, or you can email me at selfunity@outlook.com and we can set one up for you. All right, loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm sending you so much love and healing energy. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome into your reading. So if you selected the gorgeous clear quartz crystal or the card 47, Grateful, then this is your reading. Welcome in. So I'm going to put this here and I'm going to set this to the side. But actually, I forgot to let you all know, I meant to say this in the beginning of the reading, that each of these crystals from today's pick a card reading, the 3 crystals I showed at the beginning, were actually just taken out of my garden. And so this is further amplifying the energy and the messages that we're going to be receiving from Goddess Gaia for your reading today. I know that like all crystals come from the earth, of course, but I had planted these in my garden probably like a year ago, and I just took them out today and I decided to share them with today's reading to further amplify the beautiful messages that Goddess Gaia wants to share with us all. Okay, loves. So for your reading, this first card is going to be setting the tone for your reading. So we have 47, Grateful. Okay. So what I'm really getting with this card is that you're going to be going through an experience that is going to shift you into the energy of complete gratitude and gratefulness. Okay. So some type of unexpected blessing, some type of windfall is coming through for you, and it's going to allow you to really embody the energy and the spirit of gratitude. Okay, let's see if anything else comes through. I'm picking up on like abundance vibes here, where you're going to be embodying that abundant energy. And you know, if you're familiar with like the laws of manifestation, the laws of attraction, the number one thing that I always talk about and share in my readings or on my pages is when you're trying to receive something or manifest something, you have to be in a space of gratitude. I always recommend doing gratitude practices, you know, writing out the things that you're grateful for that you have in your present life now in this moment. And then also to further amplify what it is that you're manifesting or trying to receive, writing out or offering the energy of gratitude for the things that you're trying to manifest as though you already have them, as though they already exist in your reality. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull some more tarot cards for you today, though. Okay, so I'm going to pull some tarot from the Spellcasters Tarot. And I have multiple tarot decks today again, so we can see if there's any amplified messages coming through with multiple tarot decks. All right, so these 3 just fell out, so we'll take those. Let's see if we should get any more cards. Get 1 or 2 more. And okay, 3 more. Okay, so 3's your number here. So you may be seeing the number 3. We also have 7, 4, which adds up to 11 there. We have 33, 3 twice, which is definitely representing angel numbers. All right, so let's see what your cards are. So we have the Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords. Let's see how we can put these to make room for all the cards. And then we have the Fool. Wow, so this is definitely representing like new beginning vibes here. Something new. We also have the 5 of Wands. Okay. Then we have a Page of Wands. Wow, you have so many wands. So many wands coming in. And then we have 10, the Wheel of Fortune. This energy feels so similar to pile 1. I just did pile 1's reading, but different messages coming through. It's like this energy where there's some kind of change, some kind of new beginning coming in. But let's get the details on yours. This energy, wow, I didn't realize like how many blindfolds there are. There's a blindfold here. They're all wearing blindfolds. Even though he's like looking at the birds, you know, the focus is on him cupping his ear here. using his ear for guidance. And then he's also wearing, like, you know, he's covering his face there. And then the person on the Fool card, they're not even watching where they're walking, you know. So the energy that I'm getting here is there is this need to leap before you know. Make the change before you know what's going to happen. Take that leap of faith on yourself. Trust in yourself. The Queen of Swords represents this ability to see through the physical layers, okay? You know, she can see through the energy. You know, a lot of the times when the Queen of Swords come up, there's this energy of like deception, and the Queen of Swords is able to see through that deception. But here what I'm getting is it's like you're ready to take this leap of faith. You're ready to make this change. And it's like this energy where, you know, you really don't know what's going to happen physically. Like you physically can't see what's going to happen once you take this first step. You don't know what step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth is going to be. But intuitively, mentally, and in your third eye and emotionally, you're able to tune in to what's going to happen. Even though you can't tune into the physicalness of it, like you physically don't know what's going to manifest or what's going to happen once you take this step, you know intuitively that the universe will catch you, and that whatever needs to happen for you to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, or to receive whatever it is that you're trying to receive, it will happen. It will come in the right timing when it's meant to. Okay. So with that, I'm also getting this message that, you know, when you take this first step, you have to understand that it is just the first step. All right. And this could be something that you've been contemplating for a while, and now you're about to take the first step, and you may sort of expect to receive like immediate results, like, you know, like wildfire. But Spirit's saying to just be mindful that this is the first step, and there may be 10 more steps that you have to take after you take this first step. Okay. But this is a journey that you're going to be moving along to be accomplishing something, receiving something that you are deeply desiring and trying to manifest for yourself. I also see with the Five of Wands that you may be trying to do something with like a group of people here. So this could be you and your close friends group. This could be like an event at work, you know, like maybe your boss is assigning you to do something with a lot of your coworkers, or maybe you have an idea that you brought, you know, to your boss or to some of your coworkers to try out in your job. And you may be having to kind of take the lead on this one. And there could be like a lot of people that are relying on you when it comes to taking this next step or this first step that you're trying to take. But ultimately, Spirit's saying this is really a journey about trusting in yourself and your connection with the divine, with Mama Earth, Mother Gaia. This is the messages from Gaia here. Also, going with the flow of the seasons, trusting in the energy of your season. Okay, so I'm hearing that message that, you know, everyone has their season, and it may not quite yet be your season, but it's coming. But it's, you know, it's requiring something of you before you get to embody that fullness, that blessing, that energy of gratitude that we talked about. It doesn't mean that you can't embody that already. Spirit's saying, you know, you should be embodying that energy of gratitude along the journey, because that's what's going to help amplify and draw in and manifest whatever it is you're trying to receive and to achieve. But remember that this is a journey, and it may take time for you to come up on this this thing that you're trying to accomplish, receive, or achieve in that full circle moment. Okay, so it's almost like what I'm seeing here is going with the flow of the seasons. Okay, so winter, things are stagnant. You're reflecting on, you know, where you've been, what you're going to do, reflecting on the end of the year, reflecting on the new year. And then when spring comes, it's like you start to take the steps of everything that you were thinking about wanting to do when the springtime came. Okay, and then summer, it's when things are in full bloom, they're rising, they're flourishing, they're blossoming. And then fall, things start to kind of, they go dormant again, they start to die off, they start to go into their little caves and cocoons again, so that way they can prepare for the winter and the time of reflection again. So right now, this is like the blossoming, coming out of the cocoon era, which is what you're going to be doing, coming out of the cocoon, taking that first step. And then maybe like in the midsummer time, things will start to really shine. They'll start to really flourish, and you'll start to see the abundance and the manifestations of what it is that you are receiving. So you may be actually going with the flow of the seasons right now. The timeline that I gave was specific to the Northern Hemisphere, but it could also be different. It may not necessarily be in alignment with the actual seasons of the earth. Like your summer could be at a different time. It's just remembering that, everything has a time and place and has a season. But Goddess Gaia is reminding me that because this is messages from Gaia, there may be this need to get in sync with the timing of the seasons, the energy of the season. So you may want to study up on what each season means, what it brings up for you personally as an individual, also reflecting on that for yourself, coming to your own conclusions about it, and just getting, more in sync with the energies and cycles of the earth. Because like I said in the beginning of this reading, in the intro, we are all connected to the earth. We are beings of this earth. We are not separate from it. And that's something that you may be remembering here as you go through this experience and exploration of this new thing that you're trying to explore, that you're taking a leap of faith on with yourself. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and pull a couple more tarot. So I'm going to pull some tarot from this deck here. This is the Fairy Tarot. So what does pile 2 need to hear from the fairies? All right, we'll take those 2. Oops. Okay, put that aside. And let's see what your fairy cards are. So we have 2 of Winter. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. This energy is so similar to pile 1's. They're just very different messages coming through. So if you're feeling called to pile 1 too, you may want to check that reading out because the energy is so similar. You also have 10 of Autumn. Look at that. 10 of Autumn. This is the 10 of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And the 2 of Winter is 2 of Swords. Oh, 2 of Swords came out in pile 1's reading as well. All right, but 10 of Autumn says take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. This exact wording here could like sum up the messages that I channeled in pile 1's reading. So again, if you're feeling called, you may want to check that one out too, because they're so similar. But let's see what these are bringing up for you specifically. Let's get one more card for right here. We'll complete the circle there. Okay, I'm getting a message of timing here. Timing is key. And I feel like for some of you, you may be getting caught up in that message a little bit too deeply, where you're really concerned about the timing of you initiating this leap of faith energy, whatever it is that you're having to take action on. It's like you're waiting for the clock to strike midnight, even though it's 10 o'clock at night right now. And then, when midnight comes around, it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to wait till 3 a.m. kind of energy. And it like forces you to keep pushing it off. So just be mindful of that. There's no reason to wait. You've already been reflecting on this for so long, just like it says right here, indecision's holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. and feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Okay, so you already know what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to take action on. And I'm also getting this energy that you may be allowing that unknown to kind of, keep holding you back a little bit from taking those leaps of faith and those steps. But you won't know until you take that step. And again, like the Queen of Swords said, you already can intuitively, internally feel it emotionally, mentally, that you will be okay. The universe will catch you. You also have the 10 of Autumn, which is the 10 of Pentacles, and it represents security, support, and love energy. So that's further clarifying right next to the Fool that the universe will catch you. Okay, so we also have 7 of Winter, and this says there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Okay. 7 of Winter. This is interesting. It's like a shift in the energy there. Let's see. It's like you're waiting for something. Again, that timing is coming into play. You're waiting to see how things play out with something, somebody. Oh, maybe you're waiting because this is even like underneath the 5 of Wands here. And maybe you're waiting for somebody in your inner circle that may also be involved in this project or this creation. Maybe you're waiting to see if they're able to commit, to go ahead with this. But like Spirit's saying, stop waiting, start taking action steps. Even if like you're in the winter season or the fall season, you're in the southern hemisphere, there are still things you can do to get the ball rolling on this. And they don't have to be like these grand gestures, grand action steps in order to get the energy flowing with this thing that you're wanting to create, this new beginning, the steps that you're wanting to take with the Fool. They can be small steps, such as like Spirit's giving me the most basic example. Right now, this thing may only exist in your mind's eye. Write it out on paper. That could be the first step. Write it out. Get map it out for yourself. How are you going to accomplish this? How are you going to receive it? Okay. And then, once you map it all out, you write it all out, you can then clearly see what that 3rd, 4th, 5th step is. Okay. And then you can take that first step that you've written out, and then, maybe it will kind of change the dynamic. Maybe, you'll have to change the mapped out plan, the 3rd and 4th step, because you'll be able to see, okay, this wasn't working, so I can change it up and I could try this instead. Okay. But you won't know until you start taking those external steps, start taking those steps, step off the cliff, step out of your mind into reality, into the physical space with this creation, with this project, with this thing that you're trying to manifest and experience and receive. All right, loves, let's go ahead and draw your last card here. I'm going to draw one more card from the Healing with the Fairies Tarot. All right, so let's see what your last card is. Okay, so we have body movement. Yes. Body movement. Yes, there's this need to get out of your head and into motion. Just like this card here, I was really drawn to the imagery. She's ice skating. So for some of you, you may be in the southern hemisphere getting ready to move into the winter season, and things may feel a little bit more dormant. Things are kind of slowing down, but it's like you have a lot of ideas or this really great idea running through your mind that you want to start taking action on. But it also, you could be allowing that connection of the seasons to kind of stop you from pursuing it, because you're like, I'm coming up on winter season, I can't start pursuing it. But that's not true. There are still things that you can do, even though you're in that moment of winter, that can help to shift this energy and to help it start flowing. So when spring and summertime comes, it's ready to bloom, it's nourished, it's ready to put out there, to share with others, to shine bright in all its glory. Okay. So, again, start taking those steps. For some of you, this came up in some of my past readings that I shared in different pick of cards. where you may be needing to really get your body into motion, maybe like through dance, maybe through song, like making music. Maybe something you're wanting to pursue is with making music, because we also have the instrument here. We have this person listening to the birds with their ear, like cupping their ear there. Lots of musical elements are coming through here. Even here, this little fairy here is like playing the flute. They're listening to it. People want to hear the music that you have to make, that you have to share with the world. And so for some of you, it could be actual music making. And for some of you, it could be metaphorical, where there's something you're wanting to share and people want to hear that song of what it is that you have to share. All right, loves. So go ahead and, start writing out that map, that plan, and then take that first step. Just get it into motion. Just try it. Just try it out. You don't have to share with anyone. You don't have to tell anyone you're doing it, unless, of course, you're working in a group dynamic. You can just do it for yourself and see how it plays out. But, the universe is going to catch you, and you're going to be okay as you maneuver through this journey. All right, loves, that's it for your reading today. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know that you chose pile 2. Let me know if you resonated, what you resonated with, what stood out to you the most. I love hearing from you all and connecting with you in the comments. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my next reading. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I do offer them. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, or you can email me at selfunity@outlook.com, and we can set up a private reading for you. All right, loves, I thank you so much once again for tuning in. I'm sending you so much love and healing energy. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome into your reading. So if you selected the beautiful Snowflake Obsidian or number 50 boundaries, then this is your reading. Welcome in. Oh, so I wanted to share with you all, I forgot to mention this in the beginning when I was sharing each of the crystal choices, but each of the crystals from today's reading were actually planted in my garden for the past year, and I just pulled them out today to share in this reading so we could further amplify the energy of connecting with the energy and messages that Goddess Gaia wants to share with us today. So I'm going to set this aside. And also, I know that all crystals come from the earth, but I thought it would be special to kind of pull out my garden crystals, just because they just came out of the soil, so it's further amplified. All right, but let's go ahead and get into today's reading, your messages, pile 3. So for your reading, the first card here, 50 boundaries, is going to set the tone. It's going to set the energy for your reading. Okay, so with the boundaries card, I'm feeling a couple different things here. Okay, so first, lines have been drawn, whether you're the one that drew them or somebody else drew them for you. There's some kind of boundaries that have been put into place. And for some of you, I feel that these boundaries, whether or not you place them or somebody else has placed them, I feel as though you may be feeling a little bit restricted. Okay. And so I'm getting this example of where it's something with habits. Okay. So you may have set boundaries for yourself where you're trying to break a certain habit, and it can be very difficult because you may be restricting yourself from something that you used to maybe indulge in or partake in. And it's very difficult for you to, draw that line in the sand and then to, really fully allow yourself to detach from it. Okay. There was another message coming through. What was it, Spirit? It wasn't just about habits. This always happens. The messages come in and then they flow out. I'm also getting this energy where, somebody else or you may have been setting boundaries with another person, where somebody may have been kind of pushing your buttons a little bit and you had enough and you had to relate to them, enough is enough. Oh, the other message I was getting with habits is instead of, cutting something out, you may be trying to do something new, okay, that will better serve you. So it's not necessarily a boundary of restriction. It's more like a boundary of initiation, you know, something that you're trying to do, and you have to keep that commitment and promise to yourself to, you know, partake in these new habits that you're trying to form. And it could be interchangeable, where you're restricting yourself from one thing and inviting in something new that will better fill in the gap of what it is that you're removing from your life. Okay, so an example, maybe like I'm getting the example of health here. Okay, so it's like maybe you're trying to initiate the new habit of working out, and you're restricting yourself from indulging in, you know, unhealthy snacks and things like that. Let's see if Spirit has another example. Okay, maybe you're trying to, Spirit's saying the example of like socializing with like self-care or even work/business balance. Okay, so you know, maybe you like to go out and party with your friends, or just hang out, spend a lot of time with your friends, but then it kind of distracts you from allowing yourself to, you know, tend to yourself, take care of yourself, or work on like your business, or work, you know, focus on your work, or even like homework and school and things like that. So you're having to sort of set a boundary with, you know, how much time you give to socializing versus how much time you give to your self-care and, you know, the business that you have to attend to. But let's go ahead and see what more messages we can get about this. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards from the Wildwood Tarot here. Let's see what comes out for pile 3. All right, so what does pile 3 need to know from Goddess Gaia? Oh, your card just flew on the ground. I will get that in a minute. Let's pull the rest of your cards here, and then I'll pick up that card. Let's get one more. We'll take that one. Okay, let me get the one that fell. Okay, so this is the card that fell, so we'll reveal this one first. So we have 9 of Stones, tradition. Yes, you may be cutting ties with traditional practices here. We'll put that there. And then we have 20, the Great Bear. Wow, 20, the Great Bear. I believe this is traditionally justice. And then we have the King of Vessels, Heron. Or not justice, judgment. King of Vessels, Heron. And then we have 7 of Stones, healing. 7 of Stones, healing. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Yeah, okay, so what I'm picking up on is you may be breaking ties with something that is seen as traditional. And with the Great Bear coming out, the Judgment card, you may be getting a lot of lashback for it, okay? So specifically, you know, when we think tradition, a lot of the times we think about holidays. But I feel like it goes much deeper than just like holiday celebration. So Spirit's kind of giving me the example where, you know, maybe you normally, you know, celebrate the holidays with somebody specific, and this year you're deciding to no longer do that. Okay, or maybe you're not wanting to celebrate those holidays at all. So this could even be like a transition of spiritual or religious beliefs as well, where maybe you no longer resonate with those specific traditions because they may be attached to like some type of religious practice, and you may be discovering that that's not something that's in alignment with who you are now. Okay, so that may not resonate with everybody. That's just the example and the message that's coming through. But I do feel it goes deeper than that as well with the tradition and the boundaries here, where you may be, like we talked about with habits, okay, these habits that you are trying to break free from, or maybe setting restrictions on, or, you know, just setting boundaries with, of things that you're no longer wanting to do because they no longer serve you. It may be very difficult for you to set those boundaries, to draw those lines, because it may be something that was passed down to you from your family members. It may be something that you learned from your father, from your mother, maybe from like an aunt or an uncle or grandparent, maybe even like an older sibling. And when you set the boundary to no longer partake in whatever it is that you're no longer partaking in, it can be very difficult when you interact with these people that you learn this from, because they may still be partaking in those habits, those routines, or those patterns. And it can, you know, essentially send you into that energy of, you know, well, these people that I love so much are still doing it. You may have to do that back and forth of, okay, but why did I cut ties with this at first? You know, why did I even make this decision? And so there may be that energy of that back and forth energy of remembering why you set this boundary, if you're still allowing yourself to connect with the people that you learned those habits and routines from. Okay, so with that, Spirit is saying, yeah, even here with Seven of Stones healing, these two people look very different. We have somebody that's, you know, innately connected with Mother Earth here, and this person laying on the ground trying to get connected with the earth energy, but they're not quite there yet. Okay, so what I was saying with that though is that there may be this need to make this decision when you come up on it, to even set boundaries with the individuals that you learned these habits from. Okay, you may have to take, you know, like a brief pause from spending time with them, from connecting with them, which also ties into that energy of the message that was coming through with the holiday celebrations, the religious practices, and also just for your mental and emotional health as well. Because with 20 the Great Bear coming in, I'm seeing again where it's like it may have taken a lot of energy for you to even make this decision to begin with, because of this fear of judgment that you would receive from your loved ones, from your friends, from your family members that still partake in these habits that do not serve you or in your highest self. Okay. And, you know, Spirit's also saying, because this is a reading connected with Goddess Gaia, Mother Earth energy here, these practices could be something that are associated with getting deeper connection with the earth, with Goddess Gaia herself, and wanting to, you know, show up in service and protection of Goddess Gaia herself. But I do feel like for some of you that could be like something that's further down the line, because right now you're really working on healing those habits with yourself. Okay, so even though you may not realize it's like you may be setting these boundaries and breaking these habits, setting those restrictions to better yourself, but in that process you're also bettering the energy of the earth overall and Mother Gaia herself overall. It makes me think of the quote that I have posted up on all my pages, you know, my channel name, all my social media name, Self-Unity, and this is the quote. It says, when you seek unity of self, you create unity for all. So at this moment, you are definitely trying to create and establish this sense of unity and alignment to peace and loving energy within yourself, so you can reach that point of, you know, becoming this embodied shaman, becoming this embodied being of the earth, with the earth, but, you know, ultimately with your highest self and your soul and life purpose. And through doing that, you are sending out that ripple effect energy to create that same loving, peaceful energy for everyone involved. Okay, so even though this may be very challenging for you, because you are the first one to set these boundaries for yourself as an individual, and it may be challenging for your loved ones, your family members, your friends to see you setting these boundaries, you are showing up as an example to them. Okay, right now they don't understand it because it's change, it's different, you know, they, they don't understand because it's not something that they learned. It's not something they were taught. It's not something that they're used to. Okay. But you just have to stand strong in your reasoning as to why you're setting these boundaries, why you're making these changes, and continue moving forward with that journey. Because, I haven't even talked about the King of Vessels here, the Heron. So this is the King of Cups in traditional tarot. This is going to be emotionally fulfilling. Once you go down this path that is already paved for you, and setting these boundaries, you've already signaled to the universe, to Gaia, to the earth, to God, to Goddess, that this is the path that you want to take. And even though, I want to say, even though it may be less traveled, it's already been paved for you. There are people that have already walked along this path, and that will be of support to you throughout this journey. You will not be alone on this journey, even if it feels like you may be alone on this journey in your family unit or in your close friends unit. You won't be alone on this journey because there are people that have already done this. They've already paved the path for you. And I think that's something you already know, and that's probably what helped you to come to making these decisions, that you need to make these changes in your life anyway. But ultimately, it is going to be leading you to the King of Vessels, that King of Cups energy, which is complete emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. Okay. All right. I put this here because it's like the King of Vessels, the Heron, those happy endings, peace, love, energy. It's at the end of the yellow brick road there. Okay. All right, so some of you may also be getting into like spiritual work, energy healing, also connecting something with the earth, working with the earth in some way. All right, I'm going to pull some more tarot cards from this deck here. This is the Spellcasters Tarot. All right, let's give it one more shuffle. This is really beautiful messages coming through pile 3. So I know you're going through a challenging time right now, but it is going to pay off in the end. Keep holding on strong to those boundaries. Keep reminding yourself why you set those boundaries in the first place. And eventually you will cross over to the other side where, it won't feel as restricting. It will be, it will feel like freedom. It'll feel like satisfaction. It'll feel like love, because you will no longer be supporting habits that don't support you. You'll be embracing habits that do support you and that do give you love and satisfaction and more fulfillment. All right, let's see what your tarot cards are here. So we have the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands, fast movement. Also the Knight of Swords. This is like very fast-paced energy here. Wow, we also have 10 of Pentacles. This came out in pile 2's reading from a different deck though, but same energy there. And then we have King of Pentacles. Wow. Like if you want to get any Pentacles, those are the 2 cards that you want to get. Those are the cards of complete abundance, complete security, complete fulfillment. All right, so you are on the right path with this. No question about it. I feel like somebody may have a timing question, just because we have the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and it's showing like, fast progress. So if you have a timing question, your answer is very soon, sooner than you can, I want to say sooner than you can blink. Like it's going to come around the corner so fast. Okay. So for some of you, this timing question could be about, when am I going to stop wanting the thing that I'm no longer allowing myself to indulge in or connect with, embrace with, and Spirit saying, it will happen sooner than you think. You just have to hold strong. Again, keep remembering your why. And also keep focusing, like shift your focus instead of putting your focus on what it is that you can no longer have, what it is that you're setting a boundary to, restricting yourself from. Shift your focus to what it is that's going to be replacing that energy. What are you inviting in by removing this other habit from your life? Or even like for some of you, it could be people, it could be relationships that you're choosing to distance yourself from. I don't see you fully cutting ties with them, but it's like you have set boundaries in place where you may not be allowing them access to certain parts of yourself because of that judgment energy that comes through, or that energy of misunderstanding the changes that you're making for yourself and for your mental, emotional, and physical health. Okay. But Spirit's saying soon, you will get over that hump soon, where you won't even be thinking about the things that you are, removing from your life, that you're not like connecting with or indulging in anymore. Let's see what else comes up with these tarot cards here, though. I just hear Spirit like saying, keep moving forward. You're on the right path. I know it's kind of cheesy, but that's what's coming up. It's like, keep moving forward, full force ahead. Like, I'm hearing the hoorah. So some of you may be in the military. Maybe somebody is considering joining the military. And maybe that is something, or, okay, I'm getting different messages with that. So somebody may be thinking of joining the military, and this may not be something that anyone in your family has ever done. And, when you join the military, a lot of the times you have to, travel to somewhere new, somewhere you've never been before, and then they'll send you to new places as well. And so maybe your family members aren't understanding why you're doing this, because you're going to be moving away from them. Okay. And then the other message with that is, maybe you come from like a strong military background, but you're choosing to not follow that path, and you're choosing to follow a different path, one of your own. You're starting to create a path of your own. Okay. And then with the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, again, it's like kind of a cheesy message coming through, with Spirit saying, you will be supported in this path. The universe sees the work that you're doing to implement these changes to better yourself, no matter what it is, no matter what boundaries, habits, routines that you're changing and implementing. They see those changes, okay? Your higher self sees those changes. Goddess Gaia sees those changes, and they are coming in to support you. Gaia, the earth energy, this is earth energy here. The pentacles represent the earth energy, and this is like receiving full support, full financial support, like home life support, work support, spiritual support, mental, emotional support, physical support. It's all coming full circle, okay? And also for some of you, you may be worried about the connection that is getting, what's the word, like challenged here, okay? Because for some of you, how we talked about, in implementing these changes and setting new habits, routines for yourself, your close friends, your family members, they may not understand. You may have to distance yourself from them. And through that distancing, you may be concerned about having a strong support system for you. Okay. But like I said before, with the King of Vessels, the Heron on this path here, somebody's already paved this path for you. And so there are other people in this lifetime, in your journey, that you will come across as you venture down this path, that you will meet with, that will have the same values, the same practices, same beliefs as you do, okay? It just may take some time for you to meet them. But again, I don't think it's going to take very much time, because we have the fast moving energy here, where it's like they're just waiting for you right around the corner. You just got to keep going, keep trying, keep moving forward with it. And for some of you too, Spirit's saying there's something that you're inviting into your life with these changes. You're pushing something out, you're inviting something new in. And that something new that you're inviting in, it could be very specific. So I'm seeing, we talked about like health and working out. So maybe you're trying to do more physical activity, such as yoga, working out at the gym, or like hiking, connecting with nature. We talked about spiritual work, changing of religious beliefs. Okay, so any of those things, there are like different communities within those practices. And Spirit's saying to seek out those communities, and that will help you to build the support system with new people that have already paved this path for you, that have already walked this path, and they can help offer you guidance through everything that we talked about in this reading. Okay, so don't hesitate to move towards those communities or places of what it is that you're seeking to create and instill in your own life. All right, loves, let's go ahead and draw your last card. So I'm going to draw one last card from the fairy deck here. This is healing with the fairies. You know, we have to pull out the fairy cards for the earth-based reading. I guess you're going to get two. Those both kind of popped out there. All right, so let's see. Oh, we have body movement. This also came out in pile 2's reading. Body movement and self-reliance. Yes. That's why a second one wanted to come out. This is what your entire reading is about. Initiating, creating that self-reliance, no longer relying on tradition, no longer relying on just those support systems, those family unit, those friendship units, to support you in the life that you're wanting to create and the beliefs and the habits that you embody on the daily. Okay, so you are shifting to this space of self-reliance. Let's see what this body movement's about. I think this is just kind of reiterating that for some of you, this could be where you're working on healing your body. So, you know, something with health. Maybe some of you had like some type of like health, I don't want to say health scare, but maybe something happened with your health. And, you know, it's shifting you to think about it in a new way and to make some changes in your life. See if something else comes up. I'm also just really drawn to how there's like this tight-knit community here. It's like a very spiritual energy. It almost reminds me of like a drum circle. So again, some of you are definitely going to be connecting with new practices of spirituality. Maybe even for some of you, you're getting more connected with like your indigenous roots. That maybe you didn't have access to before. Maybe you're learning more about that and becoming more connected with that energy instead of an energy that was sort of, you know, just placed on you or forced upon you through your family unit or the people that, you know, came before you. All right, loves, I think that's it for your reading today. I thank you so much for, Spirit saying one last message. With this card here, how she's kind of hugging yourself, Spirit saying to, you know, protect your energy here. If you don't want to, you know, share with your family unit, your friends, or anyone about the changes you're making in your life, you don't have to, you know, keep your energy safe, keep it protected until you feel 100% comfortable with the changes that you're implementing, those boundaries that you're setting with yourself and others. You know, you don't have to share anything that you don't want to share. You can rely on and trust yourself to get through this journey with yourself and the universe and Goddess Gaia. All right, loves. That's it for your reading today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know that you picked pile 3. Let me know what resonated most with you. I love hearing from you all in the comments and connecting with you, seeing what resonated most with you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my next reading. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so through sending me a DM on Instagram at selfunity, or you can email me at selfunity@outlook.com and we can set up a private reading for you. All right, loves. Thank you so much once again. I'm sending you so much love and healing energy. Bye, loves.